for some of us, cleaning and organizing is not a job we can tackle on our own. Sometimes you got to get a little help, a little advice from a specialist. Fillip and Jamie Hord are high school sweethearts who actually discovered they shared a passion for putting everything in its proper place. They are, in fact, the founders of Horderly Professional Organizing and have been featured in the New York Times, Real Simple, Good Housekeeping, for folks looking for help to fix their mess. Like this. Into that. Oh my gosh, that's my dream closet. They join us now from their very organized home office in Long Island. Fillip, Jamie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Tamron. How
Thanks
are
for
you?
having us.
Thank you. You know, I wonder this because I'm a Virgo and I like order. I do have my one junk area, but I like order. Do you think you're born with this organizing gene? Because you two have found each other. Is it nature or nurture?
Everyone's different. I personally kind of grew up this way. I had like that natural knack for organization, and I would clean for fun growing up. But Fillip is good proof of someone who's learned and created those new habits.
Jamie, I love that you said you cleaned for fun as a kid. I'm like, you what? That is amazing. So it's your nature. I think this is great that you share not only these tips of how to organize, you also talk about the fact that clutter can be emotionally and financially draining.
Absolutely. I mean, financially draining, it costs some money to get organized. Some people go out and just buy a bin and think that that's being organized. And it's a little bit more about a process for it. Emotionally, of course, it can take a toll going through everything that you own, holding up every item you own. It can be quite the process and training in both ways. Yeah.
I got to be honest, I get anxiety when it's time to clear out things, not just for my son and memories from, when he was born, but different things throughout my life. I get anxious because I don't want to let go of that memory. So you're going to help us through this process. Let's look at a few before and after. You got a cluttered basement there. That's the before picture. Let's take a look at what you did after. What was this? I mean, it just clearly looks better. How did you tackle that head on?
It's important to pull everything out, start with a blank slate, sort everything so that you know what you have, how much you have in each category.
So you have three categories: keep, toss, and donate. That's the three categories we're to start out with in front of us.
Well, that's when you go through the editing process, which is deciding keep, toss, or donate. And it's important to touch on each item individually instead of looking at an entire pile of coffee mugs and kind of pulling a few here and there. You want to touch on each one individually.
How does that psychologically, or why is that important psychologically to do that?
Yeah, well, looking at an entire pile of things, you can just kind of generalize it and say, yeah, that's all keep. But by touching each thing, you actually have, some sort of emotional connection to it or not. And by asking yourself the right questions like, I could get rid of this, or I haven't used this in years. But if you just look at a pile of something, you're never going to find out that one answer for each individual thing.
We have a garage, Jamie, that I want to show because I think this is so relatable. This is kind of the home where stuff goes to die. It's like, you're never going to see it again. But you say, for me, it's our basement. We'll just put it in there and figure out a way. Let's look at the streamline. You tackle that. How do you handle it when people don't want to throw away something that they clearly should? This isn't like a debatable thing. This is a broken treadmill. This is something on your I'll get to it list, and 10 years later, you haven't gotten to it. And I say that with passion because I have some things like that in my basement.
Yeah. It's, we never force clients to get rid of anything, but it's important to ask yourself, if you're tackling a space on your own or working with some professional, it's important to ask the right questions to help you make those decisions easier. A lot of clients will sometimes, say keep, but then when you stop and ask the right questions, like when's the last time you've used this? When's the last time you've used this? Do you have better? That can help make your decision easier.
Accountability as well. So having someone hold you accountable will really help you make that decision instead of just throwing it in the garage or the basement.
You know what? That's so funny you say that, Fillip. I have two young women in my life who I mentor, and I let them go through my closet and get rid of things because they will just shred it apart. You don't need this. This is out of style. You're holding. And I'm like, no, I bought this when I was 27. It's the most I ever spent on a jacket. They're like, donate it. So they go through with a lethal eye to make me get rid of clothes, for example, that I just hold on to. I know that, Fillip, you and Jamie say that big milestones in your life, like moving, having babies, those are great times to get rid of the clutter.
Yeah, moving is Jamie's favorite hobby, which is hilarious to think about because it's most people's most draining and horrible hobby or task they have to go through. But it's a perfect time. You're pulling everything out, putting it into boxes. Great time to go through things. A moving or having a life event like turning an office into a nursery is the perfect time to, really ask yourself what you need and help get rid of some clutter. Because you also have to pay to move. And so if you're moving clutter,
right. Been there, done that. I've paid to move broken glasses. Like, what am I thinking? Fillip and Jamie are going to stick around. And when we come back, how they inspired my team to transform their own spaces. And don't forget to keep listening for the secret word for our spring refresh. Watch to win sweepstakes. How you can enter for a chance to win a Disney Cruise Line vacation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our Spring Refresh Week. So it is not always the entire house or the entire apartment that needs decluttering. Sometimes it's just one problem area that you want to get under control. Well, Fillip and Jamie agreed to help some of our Tamron Hall show producers clean up their clutter. Take a look.
My name is Sarah Kate. I'm an associate producer at the show. I feel like I keep my apartment pretty clean and organized, but there's definitely a space that I need some help decluttering, and that is my bathroom cabinet. I tend to just throw things in there and shut the door and ignore it. But every time I see it, I just feel pretty anxious and don't really know what to do with all of this stuff.
All right, there you heard it, Jamie. Sarah Kate said she was overwhelmed doing this. It is associated with stress when we try to throw all of these things out. Why do you think I think it's pretty obvious why we all get stressed out doing this, right?
Yeah, cluttered space, cluttered mind, cluttered life. If you can declutter and make a space easy to access, then your life's just going to be simply that, easier.
What do you tell people who already go in with, oh my gosh, this is going to be so stressed out. I'm going to be so stressed out doing this. What's your advice for them to approach it?
Prioritize. Take it day by day. Organizing usually takes a little longer than most people think. So really carve out the time to put some thought and focus into it and complete one space before you move on to another. And you can start small.
All right, let's take a look. Sarah Kate has her results. Let's take a look at what she did to her bathroom cabinet. What does it look like now?
Today is day 2 of working with Jamie from Horderly. We met yesterday. She consulted with me about what to do about my bathroom cabinet. She gave me some ideas. She told me some things that I should go out and buy. We implemented everything that we had talked about yesterday, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited about it. I finally feel organized, and I can't wait to show you. Look at how amazing this is. I mean, it is so well labeled. Everything is super easy to grab and use, and I just feel so much better about my little bathroom cabinet of shame.
Bathroom cabinet of shame. I love that. Well, for some people, like our producer Victoria, life events are what force a really big reorganizing and decluttering. Take a look.
Hi Tamron, it's Victoria. So I was so inspired by the Horderlys, Jamie and Fillip, that I decided to attack the only closet I have in my apartment, and it is filled to the tippy top with purses. And they inspired me to buy these really cool bags to organize everything perfectly, and it was gonna be my dream come true. And then I got a call that the dog I had signed up to adopt was coming home. So now I have to find a way to organize things for my new fur baby. It's several hours later. I think it looks pretty good. I didn't know what to do with these little guys. It's not perfect, and it's certainly not what an expert would do, but I don't have the anxiety when I walk in this room anymore, which is what I really wanted.
I have the most talented staffer. She's amazing at her day job and an incredible organizer. Victoria actually used these dust bags, I guess that's what they're called, Jamie and Fillip, to organize. Clear is king, I find, in closets especially, because when I used to use those shoe containers that were kind of smoky and cloudy, I couldn't see what was in it. I'd forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. Clear is always a good choice to go. A lot of people will keep their handbags in those dusters that they come with. But if you change them out to these clear ones, you can see right away what you have and remember what you have and actually use those items more.
I have also this in my closet. I have a lot of clutches. I like small bags. I found this to be such a great way to store. This is something you all love as well.
Yes, those are one of our favorites. And what's great is that it's got the top. So if you are worried about dust, that kind of thing, they're covered.
And I like because it's stackable. I have these, I have them stacked pretty high. I even put sunglasses, if they're in a slender case, or eyeglasses in these cases.
And they're beautiful. I mean, those cases, they're sleek. They make the space really elevated, almost look like a showroom, because you want to be able to shop your closet. Right. And that's a perfect way to see everything and really raise the bar.
Now, this is not my handbag, but I do this with my bags, especially since I had my child. I found these little inserts that I put inside. This is something you like as well.
Yes, yes. Just like we're creating structure inside drawers, inside closets, you want to have structure inside your handbags as well, so that everything has a little home.
I know, and I love a good tote, but I feel like totes are not our friend because everything ends up at the bottom of the bag, and I've literally been on the corner taking everything out, looking for the one thing beneath. And these come in all sizes.
Yeah. All the little spots, you can have a specific spot for each item, an area for your tech, an area for your personal items, for your wallet, everything.
And once you create habits and they go back to where it is, you can reach into your purse and grab your Metro card without ever thinking twice. You know exactly where it's at. And that's kind of those.
I love it. I live by these. I gift these, and they are awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.